going, everybody? Chaos Gamer here, and yes, we are back with some more My Hero Ultra Rumble. And in today's video, we are going over the latest patch notes that have come out after the update. I'm glad that we got some balance changes. I always say that it's better to have balance changes after every update, more so than having it when a quirk skill set slash a character releases, just to make sure that throughout the season there's some diversity going on and having new characters come into the fray, all that good stuff. But with that being said, let's not waste any more time. Let's blow this shit right the hell up. And ladies and gentlemen, let us get started with today's video. And you can let me know down below, how do you feel about the overall patch notes? So let's start off with the system adjustments. First one being adjusted the matching algorithm to match more suitable opponents. I wish there would be a little bit more descriptive on this, but I guess they were like, nah, they don't need that. So now we get into the character adjustments. Number one being Izuku Midoriya. This applies to both of them because this is their special action. Carry to safety, decrease the gauge consumption rate while active. Then we got Bakugo. They increase his HP to 350, making him a little bit more tanky. I like that. Next we got Ito with his Alpha Reciprocal Wheel. They increase the reload speed from level 4 and onward. Then we got Froppy with her Alpha Ribbit Shot. They increase ammo count from level 1 through 3. And then her special action Froggy Catch, they increase the reload speed. Next we got Shinso with his Quirk Skill Beta Binding Cloth. Both of when he does the downward like slices and stuff like that, and then the regular one that you have when you just go swinging around from city to city, basically. They decrease the reload speed on that. Then we got Aizawa with his Alpha Binding Cloth Capture. They decrease the ammo count and then decrease the damage when Binding Cloth hits the opponent. Then the Gamma Binding Cloth Serpent, they decrease the damage at all levels, which thank God they did this, man. It is absolutely annoying when you get grabbed by Aizawa and then you gotta take all that damage that he's dishing out on you. This man, Aizawa, does a lot of damage, even without the tuning skills. So imagine if tuning skills were involved as well. Brother in Christ, you might as well just get the casket yourself and put yourself in a funeral. What the hell? The next character, we got President Mike. They reduce his HP to 300. Mount Lady, her quirk move Spike Knuckle. They increase the ammo count at level 1, 4, and 5. And their special action Gigantification can now be used immediately after the start of battle. That's kind of crazy, because then frame 1, she's just going to go big and she's just going to start launching all her attacks on everybody. What the hell? I wouldn't be surprised right now, if anything, we are seeing that exact same scenario happen. Next, we got All For One, his Quirk Skill Beta Manipulative Claw. They increase reload speed when ammo is remaining. Okay. Dabi, Quirk Skill Alpha Arson. They increase ammo count at level 1 through 8. Twice with his Alpha Dagger Shot. They increase ammo count at all levels. Next, we got Kendo with her Beta Big Fish Shield. Decrease damage multiplier when hit by the following quirk skills. We got Kaminari's Quirk Skill Beta Indiscrimination. We got Amajiki's Gamma, which is the Plasma Cannon. Then we got Hado with the Spiraling Surge. President Mike with the Big Bang Voice. We got Endeavor with his Gamma, the Prominence Burn. The quirk skill set Endeavor with the Prominence Nova. And then Kurogiri with the Dark Matter. Okay, that's good. I like that. Giving it more of a tanky feel to it. Because Kendo really doesn't have much, the old one in her kit, when it comes to anything besides that Beta and the Alpha. And then most times if you're hitting the Gamma. The following quirk skill sets have been adjusted to make it easier for opponents to be knocked back when hit. So we got Midoriya's Alpha, Delaware Smash. We got Uraraka's Alpha, Zodiac Wire. We got Uraraka's Beta, Home Karmic Run. We got Shoto's Alpha, Blazing Fields of Roar. We got Froppy's Alpha, Ribbit Shot. Kaminari's Alpha, Electro Target. And then we got Momo's Gamma, the Create Bullet Rain. All Might's Alpha, which is the Texas Smash. Dabi's Alpha, Arson. Toga's Alpha, Jagdo Knife. Endeavor's Alpha, Burning Ray. Twice's Quirk, Dagger Shot. Mr. Compressor's Alpha, Productive Magic. Kendo's Alpha, Stone Throwing Fist. And then finally, we got Mount Lady's Quirk Alpha, Spike Knuckle. So with that is everything on the website. Now let's move on to the Discord so we can get additional information and value numbers at which things got nerfed/buffed at. Alright guys, here we are on the Discord. Time to get those values locked in. So let's start off with Midoriya with his Alpha. The down power has changed from 10 to 50, looks like on every single level. Uraraka is the same thing on all levels, goes from 10 to 50. On her beta release though, it goes from 20 to 50 on all levels. Then we got Shoto with his Alpha going from 10 to 50. We got Froppy with her Alpha 10 to 50. The Kaminari, we got 10 to 50 on his Alpha. With Momo on her Gamma, the small bullets, it goes from 0 to 50. And then on All Might's Alpha, it goes from 10 to 50. But the Explosion, it also goes from 10 to 50 on all levels. Then we got Aizawa, finally something different. I feel like I was stuck in an infinite Tsukuyomi, just saying stuff a little bit more different. But Wiz Alpha's damage, it went down from 40 to 30. And then at the guard break value, it goes down from 40 to 30. Then the Gamma, let's take a look at the damage. So at level 1, it goes from 14 to 12. And then the guard break goes from 14 to 12. At level 2, it goes from 15 to 13 on both the damage and guard break. Then at level 3, it goes from 16 to 14. At level 4, it goes from 17 to 15. At level 5, it goes from 18 to 16. At level 6, it goes from 19 to 17. At level 7, it goes from 20 to 18. And then at level 8, it goes from... Oh, my bad. Whoa. At level 8, it goes from 21 to 19. At level 9, it goes from 22 to 20. And then the same value goes for level 10 as well. Next, we got Dobby with his Alpha. At all levels, it goes from 10 to 50. Then with Toga, it goes from 10 to 25 on her Alpha. Pretty interesting. Then we got Endeavor. His down power, 10 from 25 as well. Then we got Twice, 10 from 25 on all levels with his Alpha. Compressor goes from 10 to 50 on his Alpha. But when the Shockwave happens on the Alpha, it is the same 10 to 50. Then we got Kendall with her down power going from 10 to 25 on all levels. Then we got my lady with her Alpha going from 10 to 50 on the down power. But when she's large, it's also the same value as well. Then we got Midoriya with his Beta. So let's start reading this off. So it looks like at level 1, 2, and 3, the penalty relay time goes from 0 to 8. And then the penalty span goes from 0 to 6. Then it looks like all the way from level 4 to 8, it goes from 0 to 6 on the penalty reload time. And then the penalty span goes to 0, 6. Then at level 9, the penalty reload time goes from 0 to 4. And then the penalty span goes from 0 to 6. Next, we got the Gamma. So at level 1, the penalty reload time goes from 12 to 15. The penalty span is 0 to 1. And it looks like at all levels, the penalty span is from 0 to 1. Then at level 2, with the penalty reload time, we go from 11 to 14. Then at level 3, we go from the penalty reload time being from 10 to 13. Then at level 4, it goes from 10 to 13 as well. At level 5, it goes from 9.5 to 12.5. Then at level 6, we go from 9 to 12. At level 7, we go from 8.5 to 11.5. At level 8, we go from 8 to 11. And the same thing for level 9, 8, 11. Next, we got Ida with his Alpha. The reload time changes at level 4 from 1.75 to 1.5. Then we got at level 5, 1.75 to 1.5. Okay, so it looks like the same thing. From 4 to 8, it's 1.75 to 1.5. And at level 9, it changes from 1.5 to 1. And then at Froppy's Alpha, her ammo goes from 2 to 3 now. And then the special action, the penalty reload time, goes from 0 all the way to 39. And then the penalty span goes from 0 to 1. And then the reload time goes from 60 to 40. Next, we got Aizawa. So at level 1 through 3, his ammo goes down from 4 to 3. Then from 4 to 8, it goes from 5 to 4. And then finally at level 9, it goes from 6 to 5. Next, we got All For One with his Beta. So at level 1 through 3, the reload time goes from 7 to 5.5. Then from 4 to 8, it goes from 6 to 4.5. And then at 9, it goes from 5 to 3.5. Then we got Dobby with his Alpha ammo. From levels 1 through 3, it goes from 5 to 6. At level 4 through 8, it goes from 6 to 7. Then we got Twice with his Alpha. At level 1 through 3, it goes from 5 to 6. At level 4 through 8, it goes from 6 to 7. And then level 9, it goes from 7 to 8. Next, we got Mount Lady with her Alpha. So the ammo goes from 5 to 6 at level 1. Level 2 goes from 6 to 7. And then level 3 goes from 6 to 7. Then her Beta, the penalty reload time goes from 0 to 4. The penalty span goes from 0 to 6. And then finally with her Gamma, the penalty reload time goes from 8 to 11. And the penalty span goes from 0 to 1. Next, we got Shinso with his Alpha. The penalty reload time goes from 8 to 9 at levels 1 all the way through 3. And then the reload time from 1 to 3 is 5 to 6. Then we got the levels from 4 to 8. The penalty reload time goes from 7 to 8. And then the reload time goes from 4 to 5.5. And then at level 9, we have it from 6 to 7 with the penalty reload time. And then the reload time goes from 3 to 5. Alright, so next, Bakugo's HP, the red one. That was the one that got increased from 3 all the way to 350. It makes sense because what they usually like to do on the patch note website is if they will specify if it's a quirk skill set or not. If it's not a quirk skill set, they'll just say the regular name. And then President Mike with his HP going from 350 to 300. And then in terms of tuning skills, there are no tuning skill changes whatsoever. So with that, that's where we're ending today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to like and comment if you want to. You don't have to, but it's always greatly appreciated. Also subscribe. Again, you can let me know down below how do you feel about these patch notes as a whole. Which character you like that got buffed. Which character you feel like you hated that got nerfed. And with that, I'll see y'all next time. Peace.